By the way, just because one person says something does not mean it's true. I'm referring to Boogie's tweet. It's just wanted to point out how frustrated he was and how he was thinking after game number 5 when they lost the 2v2 up on the top of agency.
It sucks.
Like right under bridge.
I don't know.
Do you wait for them to both buy and beam? Maybe I would
Am I an idiot, Shio, for believing the scene's potential? Am I stupid? I guess I am. This is pathetic,
we are,
bro.
Dude, I don't know. It's like every week things start off, they go fine. There's a one-off instance, but it just ruins like the integrity for the entire competition. And it's always like, I don't know. It's just annoying. The game is so good. The viewership, even if there's a big threat so-called on the rise of another esport, is still there. People play it every day. People are getting better.
And then they prove it.
When do they become East players? Or do they always stay West players?
It depends. Do they come back next week season? Because they live West.
True. Yeah.
So that's the distinction, right? If they stay here for a lot of times, then I would call them East players. It's like in any other esport, right? Counter-Strike, StarCraft. It doesn't matter where a player's from. If a team moves to a league in NA, they are now an NA team, unless for whatever reason they're literally a full EU team. But that barely happens. This time it's NA. It's not like just because they live on NA West. Because like Saf, for example, he's an NA West player, but he's considered NA East. Really?
Yeah.
He's played here for so many seasons.
Now we might see a game from Booga and Stretch. This is what you like to call the Booga Classic, where he gets so high, looks for tags. Stretch helping out all the way around. These guys locked in zone. White tags. He's gonna back off, but Stretch picks it up.
Be careful running in from northwest. One of them has their right here.
And this would commonly just be like a nade thrown. These setups wouldn't be possible. But everyone gets to get closer and closer to each other. Boxes get to get pulled up. Beams are now more important. Accuracy going to be leading in the forefront more so than positioning. And that is really accurate. That player going straight down. Unfortunately, Booga and Stretch don't get to have a claim on the points of that elimination, but they'll get the mats. I think right now that is a little bit more important. The Scope's got to be careful because they are on zone line. 15 seconds until that starts to close in, and it's lethal for him. Nice last bullet headshot.
Yeah. He's padding behind us. Take his mini. I can't get back from at all, dude.
Scope has no room for error here.
Yeah.
Absolutely none at all. They can't spend any time waiting. They can't let themselves dilly-daddle. We're already in the moving zones with Kanata and Joey 2C. A nice big pump on the front side of that. So now there's a player in his box. He doesn't realize that it's going to cost him. He's done. He's out. They're both done. 20th place. And the comeback that was possible out of them from the clutch of Joey 2C. It's not going to last at all. Scope does inch his way in with no danger from the zone at all. And even though it looked lighter in the early states, it is a stat game. Now it's just Knight by himself, and he's not going to be overcoming it either. 13th place is not going to be enough to overtake Scented and Edgy.
The only team possible to do it now is Scope, Tfue, Cease, Bizzle. Everyone else is way too far behind and is not just annihilating the whole server.
We can jump on a team if we need to, bro. Like,
I don't know. Do you think
They're on
35 from
height.
Tabs and Colazo is enough? These guys have it. It's possible. But if these guys are on height that means that Scented and Edgy are not. And although that's like a
Yes.
basic analysis, that means they're operating on mid-ground, they're surviving and getting elims.
Yeah, they're not fighting for the height, and they're not really making this anywhat different. What just happened there? That guy just literally froze.
We need to stay
I
ahead,
think
bro.
they didn't. I don't see the blue there. Regardless,
I'm staying ahead.
Scoped and Tfue on height. Last time we saw this in the semifinals, they dominated from this position.
I have like 200 mats.
It's a chance to do it again, and they have the weaponry to do it. But no, not the materials.
Where, crack the kid 35 flash.
The best thing they can do right now is try to find Scented and Edgy. Remember the skins that have been haunting them and the entire server so far, and focus them if possible. Not going to be a thing though with so much chaos going around, patterns all the way around as well. They need to just relieve pressure as much as possible, reconnect wherever possible as well. Tfue's going to be the point man for that. And a big shot and follow-up on the seam, who ends up going down. His dual partner still alive. Tfue now lost in limbo in the storm. Has a choice for a flopper, tries to grab it, but a beam comes straight through. Not sure who that is. It's Defy who climbs up the ranks as well. He was close to that top 20, now just boosts up in the top 10 almost. And Scope goes down, Tfue's last alive.
Nice, you got top 15. Don't.
It's all up to Tfue now to try to clutch up and overtake Scented and Edgy's massive lead against them.
Once.
And the blunders that Tfue's made, this is a chance for redemption. We saw him clutch yesterday.
This guy is way
And in that sense, it was just bringing Scoped up and then combining for some good chemistry. Now, he's got to find himself an impact because he's got 0 materials, but not quite anything to do. 10th
1
place
HP, 1 HP in that brick, 1 HP in that
is
brick.
all it's going to be. Booga and Stretch on height with 13 people left and some materials to still work with. And after their 5th game, where they ended up getting knocked out early, now they have an opportunity to actually win and come straight back from a depressing moment for them in game number 5.
Nice, I'm tarping.
And they called it. They're trying to go for those big kills soon. They don't just want to have height. They want to own this entire game. Make sure no one else has a say in getting points. But the big question is, are Scented and Edgy alive on low? Can these guys clinch out as many kills as possible before they just mop them up? If they are there, who else is alive as well? Could it be Season Bizzle? That's one player going down. Not sure who it is. Stretch is a collateral damage for that too. It's Zayt actually. Saf meaning he's still alive. 7th place at 32 points. They're going to have a chance to move all the way up, possibly that 40 threshold. A height retake, possible 1v1 build fight. There's someone else, though, an unknown entity that is not fighting for height. Who is it? No clue. Booga has to try to defend, jumping on his own walls, and now has to be forced to drop down on a hill. No clue, actually, where the last person is. Insane decisions. Nice reactions, no ammo left. The reloads need to come through. It's another fight all the way up high. Booga has the best position, needs to start the spam. There's the first one. It comes down. It's Fiber with the quick flick. Booga with the nice aim. Now the deflections, the builds kind of caught up. 9th zone, more
Saf.
spam. Reloads coming all the way around, and it's not enough. Beef ended up coming in. No, it's a replay, actually. My apologies. Dubs going down to Fiber.
Wow.
We saw him get flicked. But this is his story all the way till that point.
Just like there was a lot to unpack in the last game, a lot to unpack here. Fiverr and Aguilar might have clutched their qualification right here, right now. Zayt and Saf pushed their way up. Booga and Stretch pushed their way up. Dubs and Mega pushed their way up. And who else in that feed? I think it's just them. So now this is the 1v1. V1, Booga, Fiber against Saf. And Fiber was the one with the high ground retakes using the ice cream skin. And then they got stuck, both Saf and Fiber in zone. He ended up falling down, taking a little bit of damage from Booga before falling to the zone, and Booga got that credit. Saf above. Big pump, but Booga cleans up that one because of the storm damage. Just one tag was enough.
Jeez.
And Saf had nothing to come off of this hill. So Booga could outlast. He couldn't jump down. He could have maybe slid down the hill and negated the fall damage, but
They're sitting all the way up top on the throne.
yes, they are, and they might also be sitting at the top of the consistency points after everything, because they've been here weekend after weekend in the top 10, Scented and Edgy, showing up big this weekend. Knight and Rogue Shark also a fantastic performance. 1 win, the 52 points. And every single time, they've actually been keeping up with the average placement of Scented and Edgy at 10 average placement for them. But then, of course, Scoped and Tfue in their first outing in the Sunday finals, they make it work. it looked kind of rough in certain stages, especially in towards the middle of that tournament. But the beginning and the end were good, so they finish at third place. Tied 3 ways, by the way. Kanata, Joey Tusi, and Zayton Saf also at 47 points, but the tiebreaker wins. And then I think total elims or average elims, Kanata and Joey Tusi, known for their aggressive style, are going to be beating Zayton Saf in that regard.